Shooters, we have a lot of options when it comes to optics, and we now have yet another. This is the Bushnell Match Pro ED. I'm very happy to introduce this optic. So I used the original Match Pro for quite some time and had great success with it. In fact, here it is right here. It's a 6-24 with a 30mm main tube and a 50mm objective. It has locking turrets, illumination. I think this came in at about $4.99, and it parallaxed down to 10 yards. So they said, hey, this thing's great for NRL 22 and you know, beginner optic, but I use this on a centerfire rifle, specifically a 223 most of the time, occasionally a 6.5, but a 223 where it lived, and it quickly became one of my favorite optics. It was simple, it's simple to use, and it just took a beating. And it wasn't the most elegant of optics on how everything functioned, but I loved it, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. The only complaint that I had, depending on the contrast situation, because of shooting here in the sun against gray and green and tan different backgrounds, if paint got chipped off a target, sometimes it could be difficult to see. But that has been fixed with the upgrade. Again, phenomenal optic. With the new Match Pro ED, we've addressed that with ED lens up front. That makes a huge difference because the clarity is good, not having the contrast problems at all. But what you get inside this optic is what originally kept this thing an awesome performer. You got a throw lever that is movable, so you've got a right, left, and middle position. So depending on what side your bolt is on, mine's on the left, you can move this to where you won't smash your fingers up. Reticle inside Bushnell's Match Pro ED is Deploy Mil2 or DM2, and it's a Christmas tree type. The Match Pro ED parallaxes down to 15 yards. It features locking turrets, and you've got 14.5 mils of windage travel and 30 total mils of travel on your elevation side. 34mm main tube, 56mm objective, again with ED glass up front on the objective lens, and it is a 5-30 magnification. The elevation turret on the Match Pro ED is where I believe a lot of the magic is. We've got an easy turret system to set to 0. We've got this plug that has a nice big slot. You can use a screwdriver, or you can use something like the edge of a case out in the field. I like having that feature. Once you take this off, obviously you can move your turret from wherever to 0, so it's easy to set. Now, that's not where it stops. We also have a 0 stop as well. And if you look inside here, you simply spin this ring to set your 0 stop. So you turn it till it stops. Your 0 stop is set at that point. So again, if you zero this out and it's on 0, you can set it there. Or I like to run mine about 4/10 under. So I ran it to 4/10 under. It's just nice, quick, and simple. Also, when you look on the elevation turret, you have a rev indicator. We've got 10 mils per revolution. So this thing's nice and easy. Once we get through the first rev range, pops up, it's red. And then when we get to the third, it pops up again, and you see stainless steel underneath. So it's very easy to use. Obviously, it's tactile. It's a great feature to have in any optic, especially when you get to this price point. You wonder if it's going to be there, but it is on the Match Pro ED. Also, the etchings on the turret are nice and easy to see, and I'll tell you this, the numbers match up evenly. It's not a little bit off, you know, to make you go, okay, am I at 0.7 or am I at 0.6? You know, that kind of in between. It's right there. Everything lines up and matches the way it should. You know, there's some things about coatings on the glass, etc. I'm not going over that. Read that on the website. That is what it is. It has 11 levels of illumination with an off position in between each click. After 6 hours, it's going to shut itself off. You don't have to worry about running the battery down. Is it true daylight illumination? Not quite. Now, I shoot here in a lot of bright sunlight with light backdrops, and it's very difficult to see. But when you get into some greens, you get into some browns and things darker than that, you can see it during the day. So some people like to use illumination, some don't. It is an option on here. So the next question is, who is the Match Pro ED for? Well, Bushnell is going to tell you it's for competitive shooters and advanced shooters. Okay, we'll give Bushnell that. I will just say this. If there's somebody that's looking for a good optic, and I hate this, budget-minded, it drives me crazy. We'll just say, when you're trying to stay in the cost-conscious arena, the Match Pro ED is going to be one of the hard optics to beat. The locking turrets, the rev indicator, super easy zero stop, 30 mils of elevation, 14.5 of windage, 56 millimeter objective with ED lens up front, 5 to 30, movable and removable throw lever, durability that, unless it's changed, I know is there. This thing is going to take a beating. Maybe you just want to buy an optic that you can run it until you think, you know what, maybe I need to move on past it. It will let you do a lot of things and not freak you out about your pocket. So I'll leave you with this. My first exposure to the Match Pro ED was in May or June of this year, and we were in Wyoming. Sat down behind one of the rifles that they had for us there. I think we did a couple, 600 or 700 yard shots to see what's going on. Then we punched out straight to a mile. I'm shooting at a mile, I'm seeing my impacts, and I'm seeing my misses. I'm not realizing what optic I'm using. I just know I'm shooting a rifle with an optic with a reticle that I really like. Well, then when I come off the gun, I just happened to notice that it was the Match Pro. I thought it was a different model of optic from Bushnell. I'll leave it at that. But it was indeed the Match Pro. I was like, That's one of those things, one of those moments when you're shooting, you're doing what you need to do. The equipment is delivering what you want it to deliver. Everything's right. And then come to find out, you're not spending a bunch of money. Bushnell's Match Pro ED.